welcome back to Sneed's Garage. Today we will be working on my 96 Dodge Ram that I acquired here over the last summer. And I'm going to wind up doing the brake pads and rotors. I have a struck brake caliper here on the driver's side that is just giving me fits. So we're going to wind up getting that fixed. As you can see, this truck is set for a long time and the rotors are all rusted and pitted, but the front end of the truck seems to be in pretty good shape. It runs good, needs a little bit of more work done to the body and some of the interior, but other than that, it's not as ugly as my disowned brother and his wife. Well, it could be, but who's saying? But anyhow, I'm going to wind up going through all the brakes on the front of here, and then we'll wind up going through, and I'll probably wind up greasing the front end and then getting it ready to wind up selling and getting rid of. What you're going to wind up needing for this job is a ratchet with a square head or a Allen head attachment that goes on the end of it, a C-clamp, a big screwdriver, and a wire brush, and some good old brake clean. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take the wrench that I just dropped. Of course, I had to drop it on the floor. Yeah, drop it. Come back here. Where are you going? But you wind up sticking it in the holes here on the back. Then you got to loosen the bolts that hold the caliper. Then once you get the bolts worked out, you'll pull the caliper and set it off to the side out of your way. Then you're going to want to take the screwdriver and find you a place up under the caliper to wedge out on it, which in this case, this caliper is stuck. So this one's going to take a little bit more brute force than what you would normally need to do with one of these. So I'm going to have to keep working on this to get it loose. And once I get it off, we will be back. Now then, with the caliper off, you'll just reach up and you'll wind up grabbing a hold of the rotor. Pull the rotor off and set it off to the side where you'll have your brand new rotor. Then you'll take and spray that with brake clean before reinstalling it to the truck. Then what I like to do is to wind up taking and putting the pads in the new caliper. And you'll want the caliper to go back on the rotor before we install the brake line. And then when you go to install the brake line on the end there, you got a place, then it looks like these two little round circle looking outfits on the ends. You got a bolt that goes through it, and then you got two washers. This is all called like a banjo fitting. Why they call it a banjo, I have no clue. But one side goes on the side of your nut, on your bolt. Then it slides through your brake line, like so. And then the other copper washer goes right on the end of this. Then this will come back here and go into the back side of your caliper. Then after you get it hooked to your caliper, you'll wind up going down here and you'll want to hook it up to the bracket that holds the brake line on. Then the brake line will come up here. And you got a top piece to the brake line that goes in. And you got one that goes to the passenger side that goes in. And then after that, you'll bleed the brakes and put the wheel back on, and then it'll all be done. Now that you're done bleeding your brakes, you'll want to come up here underneath the hood. You'll want to pop the cap off to the master cylinder. And you'll want to check and make sure that your brake fluid is full, which in my case, mine done really good where I pushed the brakes back on the other side. And that'll just about wrap up the brake change. So anyways, that's the brake change on my 96 four-wheel drive Dodge Ram. While I was in there, I also found out that the front drive axle has a bad universal joint in it, and that will be on a future video. I will show you how to take it all apart and to do that and how to fix it. Anyways, the next time that I get a chance to do a video, we will be back on my scamp. Y'all have a good evening, and bye.